Hi, my name is Donna Cornell, and I'd like to welcome you to my ePortfolio presentation today. The foundational beliefs and values is part of that. I have spoken in this presentation about next generation reading. I have spoken to the image of the 21st century learner, the role of the teacher, and the optimal learning environment. So I begin my presentation with my teacher timeline, where I graduated from University of Manitoba with a BA in 1991, all the way to getting onto the TOC list in the School District 23 in 2006. I spent some time in temp contracts, getting a temp contract at Hudson Road in 2014, Band 1, a permanent job at Hudson, and now I have had a variety of things that have taken place at Hudson, and I am currently teaching grade 3. I'm grateful for the time I spent in a dialogic engagement with all of you and our brilliant instructors, to remember that gratitude promotes creative thinking and pro-social emotions such as trust, empathy, forgiveness, compassion, and a sense of connectedness. I felt it important because I like to talk about gratitude in the classroom, and that's why I included this. Next generation. I used to think somewhat traditional, and now I think next generation will change my teaching for the better. Changing our teaching is, in many ways, not that difficult, but the difficult part is letting go of old habits and beliefs about teaching, learning, literacy, and children. Unpacking next generation instruction. I spoke to some of the things that Berkus and Yaris had to say. I go on to talk about next generation read aloud and the importance of it, and next generation sharing and its importance, next generation guided reading, and next generation independent reading. I am looking forward to being able to institute all 4 of those into my classroom in the fall. I spoke to how will my literary-centered classroom design cultivate productive literate identities in my learners. The word cultivate has resonated with me when looking at this question. If the dictionary definition of cultivate means to promote the growth or development of, then I will work to develop and grow the skills necessary to give my students the tools to become lifelong readers, writers, and learners through meaningful, engaging conversation and funds of knowledge in a safe and welcoming environment every day. I spoke to the image of the 21st century learner. This image includes how people think about children's capabilities, development, motivations, purpose, and agency. I spoke to the role of the teacher. We need to know our students individually as people with particular interests, projects, propensities, and lives in and outside the school. When you take the time to get to know your students on a personal level, you will come together to form a positive, engaged learning community. I viewed the role of the teacher through the core competency lens of School District 23 with I can statements. The optimal learning environment. I broke it down between the physical and the social. Some of the most important for the social being dialogic classroom, giving timely feedback and celebrating accomplishment for students' work, asking questions during conference, be supportive of students during group work and conferences, be safe in a safe and supportive learning environment, positive feedback to elicit confidence and engagement, and peer review process. And there's my references. I would like to take this time to thank you for listening to my presentation, and also to thank you ladies for the last 3 weeks we spent together learning on Zoom. And I'd like to also introduce you to my Bitmoji, who was along for the ride during my presentation. Have a great summer.